problem is, whenever you put it in gear, okay, right now the car is not cranked up, but you can see the arrow light. When the condition occurs, the arrow light will flash, and you will get a check engine light. And the only way to get rid of that, if you run the car through a few cycles, start and stops, that flashing will stop, but the check engine light will remain on. One way to, if your car goes into a limp mode, where it gets stuck in third gear because of the PNP switch, you could actually put the key in the on position and shift this back and forth maybe about 20 times or so, and if you're lucky, the car will go out of limp mode, but for a couple cycles you will see the light flashing, the arrow flashing, after, even though the car is not in limp mode anymore. Eventually the arrow will quit flashing, but you'll still have the check engine light. Okay, first we will be removing the air cleaner and intake air cleaner housing in the intake manifold. Now take some bolts off to remove the housing. Here's our filter. Hold on to that. The bushing has come away from the base, and can't really see. Pops out. Okay, she's coming out. That right there just was a plug popped out, so we should be in good shape with that. Set that aside. Don't want to lose my clip. Okay. Bring this out a little bit. I don't have a garage, so sometimes leaves get down in here and you can't quite see them. Okay, so we're going to remove the battery. Got everything unhooked. We'll take it right out. Now we have to remove this tray, battery tray, get it out. Out she comes. Set her aside. Okay, we push down that and disconnect that connector there. Okay, now I'm working to disconnect the cable that comes from the switch here all the way around back to here, and I've unhooked both of these by pushing down that lever on the switch, and on the connection, and pulling it. Push the lever down and pull it. This was a little difficult to get off, but now I've got to get it disconnected from the bracket, metal bracket here, so I could move it. And then also I'm going to cut these wire ties. Okay, I've decided I was going to remove this bracket back here. There's a bolt there. It's a 10mm bolt. Not sure if you can see that, but I'm going for that and take this metal bracket off so we can get the connectors off. Okay, there's another bracket bolt under here, and it goes to this bracket, so we'll have to get that off. Okay, so here's the plug that we have to take off. So if you get and this is what I found out, that if you bend them back just a little bit, it's able to bend, the bracket will bend. You could get a screwdriver under that tab and pop it off on this side. It's actually latched in a hole, so if you pry up that tab, it comes right off. So then we have to just get it out of here. So remember, the way it's fished in, I've already cut off the wire ties that were there. And so now we have some more brackets to get off. We'll work on those. Okay, so off comes the bolt here in the center. And the lever's coming up. This has got to come off. Okay, we have that bolt off there, and now we're going to go for the other bolt right there off of our switch. Okay, have that out, that bolt out. Maybe you can see a little better. Now we have that bolt out there. The stud had to come out also. That stud had to come out of that hole right there. Right there. The other bracket, but the other bolt was a bracket bolt. And then these fingers actually hold this bolt in place. You can see them on the new genuine Volvo part I have, but see the fingers there actually hold on to that big nut, and it is just a nut, and it's not very tight, so it's in park right now, which is turned that direction. I double checked, and it's in the same direction as it was, but this bolt is not very tight, so you could hold this and then turn that bolt or nut to get it loose. Light should just come right out of there. Try to put a light on there for us. You don't have to take that nut all the way off. And there she goes. Remember where the wire goes. So you can reroute it. And that's the old one. Okay, here's the new genuine part. They look the same. Notice the fingers. So we're going to reroute the new one. Put it back in place. Cord looks the same. Connections same. So we should be good. This is the position switch. I mean the PNP switch. There is a mark on the switch, and there's a tool that fits over this that aligns to this mark. But what I did was take a straight edge and align it, taking into account the thickness of this bolt, make sure it's aligned with here. So this will move, it will rotate on the axis. I'm not going to move it because I have it lined up, but then I have to tighten this bolt. It's in neutral now, and neutral is actually when you click it to the right, you go back 2 clicks. The first click's reverse, the second click is neutral. So neutral, and then align it to that mark. Now I'm going to tighten these bolts here and bolt there, put that back together, put my arm back on, and continue putting it back together. Okay, kind of go over where I'm at. I've put the switch back in place. Got that bolt there on with the nut for the bracket. This nut's on. It actually bottoms out against one of the flat edges under there, and that nut's back on, or that bolt's back on. That nut's on. You can see the locking fingers here. I've put those back, or bent them up. I put this back together. I didn't need to take it apart earlier. That goes to power. Now I have to put the wiring back together. I'll plug that one back up. If I can. Okay. This one has to go next to this wire, and then it actually slides down on the metal bracket right there. That's where it slides down. Okay, so I'm going to turn this where it will reach. They don't give you a lot of extra room. Slide it down onto the bracket. There. Like that. Now I could bend these back up straight. I had moved them a little bit. Okay, the big one goes first. Go on. Click. This one. Now these are all brittle. I have to keep an eye on one of them here because this one I think I actually broke the tab off, but it seems to be fitting over there. Okay, I just have to keep an eye on it. All the rest of them I left plugged, so this actually goes to the intake. So that's where we're at. These wires that are laying here is to the battery. So continue on. I have the battery tray back in, and got all my wires in place. So now I'm going to put the battery back in, and then we're going to try make sure that it's sensing the switch before I hook everything else back up. tighten that up, and then we're going to check her out. Okay, so we're finished up assembling everything. I got my air box back together, air intake. Plug my wire back up to my mass airflow sensor. Power's back on. I cranked it up. Seems to sense neutral, park, verse, everything seems to flow through. So I'm going to reset everything with my tool. I have an Autel tool that works on this Volvo. I'm going to reset the computer and go out for a test drive. We'll know in a day or two if it's going to act up again. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, please give us a thumbs up. Thanks.